Yo, yo, welcome back, everybody, to Sulfi ASMR. In tonight's video, we're going to be going over my soccer or football jersey collection. Obviously, if you guys didn't know, soccer or football is my favorite sport. It's the sport I grew up watching as a kid. It's the sport I grew up playing. Played it throughout high school. Had, a blast playing that. You guys know I also still go to like pickup games, usually Tuesdays, Thursdays, or Sundays. Whenever they have them, I'm always still trying to play. But over the years, of course, I've collected many kits and, jerseys. So I think I'm going to go over them tonight for you guys. So let's jump straight into the first jersey of the collection. Alrighty, guys, and in no specific order, I kind of just had them all in my closet, brought them out. So the first one we have is a Inter Miami jersey. This is the club that Lionel Messi is playing for currently. This one in particular is it's an authentic David Beckham jersey. It says Beckham on the back. The A right here on the name actually came off. This one I wore a bunch in pickup when I would play goalie. I don't know, usually when I wear jerseys I have like a matching outfit, even with like the cleats and stuff. So yeah, it got a little ruined, unfortunately. But, I get them to wear them. I'm a big jersey, I like wearing them. But yeah, this jersey I think was the first or second year that the team was established. It's a newer team in the MLS. So yeah, I ended up going to a Inter Miami game their first year and ended up, getting this one. My mom's a big fan of David Beckham, so that's the main reason why we went to this. So, can't really call me a bandwagon because I had this jersey before Messi was on the team. Way before, actually. I would try and maybe go to another one, but I'm sure you guys know the tickets are probably very, very expensive now because of the team they have now. But would still be really cool experience to try and get to watch Messi play before he retires. So that was the first jersey of the collection, the Inter Miami David Beckham authentic jersey. Let's move on to the next jersey of the collection. Again, no specific order. Alrighty, and the second jersey of the collection we have an Italy jersey. I actually don't know where this one came from. I think it was my brother's that lives in Denver when he was here. I'm sure he must have just forgot it here. But we have a old school Italy jersey with Del Piero on the back. Very old player. Great player. Number 7, if you guys couldn't tell. But yeah. Again, I think it was my brother's. I don't know exactly where this one came from, but I've never really been a fan of Italy. I mean, I don't really pay attention to countries like that. I'm more of a club watcher. You guys know Arsenal is my favorite team. Real Madrid is up there as well. Always has been. My friends and I in middle school, we would obviously that's all we're into, so we would, a few of us would like Real Madrid, which myself was, but all my other friends were FC Barcelona fans. And if you guys do keep up with soccer or football, you guys would know El Clasico. And yeah, every time that was on, we would pull it up on our Chromebooks in class, and we would watch them mid class. And yeah, we'd always make fun of each other for whatever team lost or whatnot. But yeah, again, never really a fan. I mean, not a fan of watching, but like I just never really watched international soccer. I mean, World Cup, of course, but I mean, mainly for that, I was just a highlight watcher. I never really watched the full matches. I do like this kit though. It has it says Italia on the side here going down. Very cool. But I think we will move on to the next one. This one didn't really have like a badge or anything that I could get like good scratching on. But yeah. So Italy, Del Piero jersey for the second one. For the third jersey, I'm not too sure if I've worn this one in a video before. I probably have, but we have the Germany kit. I believe this is from a couple. I think it's fairly new. If I can find if there's a year on it. No, I can't find it, but I'm pretty sure this is the Germany kit from just very recently, maybe like a couple of years ago. Got the nice white on the outsides, some stripes going through the sleeves. I really, really like this one because you got that black going through the mid with the gold Adidas logo, and then the Germany logo here, and like a, I don't know, it's not like a gold, but it's like a brush, like bronze gold color. Very, very beautiful jersey. I wear this one all the time. I think it's very stylish. And I mean, Germany usually, they always have nice kits. Can never really go wrong with a Germany kit. This one I got as a gift, I believe, for my birthday. Maybe last year or 2 years ago. Can't remember. But usually my dad will end up buying me a kit of some sort for, Christmas, birthday, whatever the occasion may be. But I'm pretty sure you can get this one at, I think it was at the Adidas store. But I'm still, I love this one. I really do. Let's take another look at it. And again, if you guys do keep up with football, you guys would know the Germany kits for this last year during the Euros were beautiful. They got their away kits were like a nice light purple, light pink mix kind of going down the jersey. It was so nice. Such a nice jersey. And I still might consider ordering one eventually. I think it was very cool. But yeah, that was the third jersey. Germany kit. Let's move on to the next one. Being the Germany route going, we have a Borussia Dortmund jersey. I do not know what year this one's from, but this jersey is from my very first time watching a soccer match that wasn't an MLS team. It was the in the summer, the teams from like England, France, Germany, the bigger leagues that people actually enjoy. They were, they traveled to the U.S. in the summers, and I was able to go with my mom to watch the Dortmund versus Manchester City game. And that was way before Manchester City was like considered a good team. I think they were just like getting up there in the Premier League. And that was when Man City still had their old logo before they updated it. So it must be pretty old. I mean, this jersey does not really fit me too well. But if you guys do know, feel free to comment down below. Dortmund has always been another one of my favorite teams because, again, it was the first match apart from MLS teams that I was able to go watch. So I don't necessarily support them, but when they win, I'm always happy that they win. Unfortunately, they didn't win the league when Jude Bellingham was on his final season there. I think 2 seasons ago, it was a title race between Dortmund and, of course, Bayern Munich. And Bayern Munich ended up winning in the final match day of the season. It was such a heartbreak. And that was Marco Reus's last season as well for Dortmund. I believe he is now in the MLS himself. I think it was LA Galaxy, if I'm not mistaken. That would be a fun player to go watch as well. He was always very underrated, I feel like. Very loyal player. I mean, he was at Dortmund for years. Couldn't even tell you how many. It was just so many. But yeah, this one always has a special place for me. Again, like I've said twice already. It was my first non-MLS game that I went to. But let's move on to the next one. This next one also has a special spot in my heart because this was the very first professional soccer football game that I have been to. It was the Orlando City, obviously in Florida. This was before Inter Miami was a team, so there was only one team in Florida. And of course, if you're from the United States, a good place to travel to is Florida. So we went to Orlando. Went and saw Orlando City versus New York Red Bulls. And of course, I'm going to remember who they played. Because again, this was my very first game ever going to. I went with my dad. I went with my mom. And then I believe both of my sisters were there. So it was a good memory. And another memory I have about this game, was, I was doing YouTube back then as well. And I would kind of just post whatever. And I remember on my phone, I would, record just like highlights and try and get like the goals, of course, on film. And I remember posting a highlight video on YouTube, hoping it would get like a bunch of views. But I'm pretty sure it got taken down because you're not really allowed to post, those kind of stuff on YouTube unless you have like a license agreement to it or like some sort of, license to record that. But yeah, I do really like this jersey. I love the jerseys that have the collars on them. Just makes them a bit more classy. When you wear them, it's easier to wear with like khakis or like jeans. Beautiful colorway as well. We got the gold on these sleeves here. Got the gold MLS badge as well. And then this nice, like, I don't even know what kind of purple this is, but it's just like a dark purple, very beautiful look. Unfortunately, this one doesn't fit me. I believe Kaká was still playing for Orlando City when I went, if I'm not mistaken. There were some decent players on the team when I went and saw this, but unfortunately I don't remember what year it was. I just know it was, it was some time back. But yeah, this is only a US medium. Right now I'm wearing like extra larges for jerseys. But yeah, this one, the Orlando City. Again, that was my very first game I ever went to. So let's move on to the next one. Alrighty, so the next one we have a Real Madrid kit, and this one is, it's also a collared shirt. This one actually has a pretty big collar, but on the back we do have a name, and I think we can all know, I think we all know who it is. We got CR7 Cristiano Ronaldo on the back. This one is obviously a favorite of mine as well. It's really hard to pick favorites because I do have like a lot of memories with all these jerseys and stuff. But again, like I said earlier, Real Madrid was, one of the first clubs I started watching on like YouTube because of Ronaldo. He was on that team. That's my favorite player ever. I always enjoy watching him, so I had to get myself a Real Madrid Ronaldo jersey. I believe this one was from, I want to take a guess and say like 2018, 2019 maybe. I really can't remember. I'm trying to think when. No, I don't remember the years. I wish I did. But this one's obviously old as well. It's, again, a medium, which it does not fit me, which meant I was pretty small back then. I do like this material on the collar. It sounds nice. A little nice scratch. You can get a bit of tapping as well. I want to say this is the season they beat Juventus in the Champions League when they had those purple jerseys on. I think it was that same season. I want to say it was Ronaldo's last season with Real Madrid. Actually, was this jersey? I really don't think I'm wrong about that. It might be right. So yeah, was able to get a Real Madrid Ronaldo jersey before he left. But let's move on to the next one. Alright, so the next jersey is a Portugal jersey. Again, we got number 7. You guys already know who it is. CR7 Cristiano Ronaldo, once again. Pretty sure I've worn this one in a video before. But, yeah. Gotta support CR7. I do admit, as crazy as it sounds, you guys know the debate, Messi and Ronaldo. I've always been a Ronaldo fan, and I have called him the GOAT many, many times throughout the years, but I do have to admit, Messi is considered the GOAT. He's won all of it. You have to consider him the GOAT. But Ronaldo, in my opinion, is a better player to watch. He's more of an influential player on, young kids, younger players that are trying to, make it big. He's big on discipline, working hard, training. He wasn't talent, like Messi was. Messi was a talent. He, just naturally, was good. But, Ronaldo, he works hard for his physique. He trains very hard, very disciplined with what he eats. And I think that's why, for me, Ronaldo is considered the GOAT. I think they're both GOATs, but, for different reasonings. But, of course, you got to enjoy them both, especially now when they're both, on their way out, about to retire. So, yeah. That's why I got a Portugal Ronaldo jersey. Because I've always been a Ronaldo fan. When they won the Euros in 2016, I'm pretty sure it was this season. I think this was a 2016 Portugal jersey. Again, I really, they should put the years on the insides of them, the inside collar on the back. We'll get one more look at that. Love the dark sleeves. Little stripes throughout too. But let's move on to the next jersey. I did forget to mention, I'm not adding any Arsenal jerseys in this video, mainly because I do have my Arsenal collection video in itself. But following the trend, we have a Juventus jersey. One of my favorite jerseys I own. I do believe this one still fits me really nicely. But I love Juventus has always been like, I've always loved their jerseys. I mean, you can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with a black and white. And then on top of that, you have a gold on the logo, on the sponsor. I think overall it's just a very beautiful jersey. But the reason I said following the trend, on the back, it's CR7. Cristiano Ronaldo on the back. This was his second season, I believe. His second season with Juve. Dominated the Serie A. And this is when I started watching more just variety, because again, when I first got into watching the sport, I would watch, Real Madrid because of Ronaldo, but he switched over to Juve after that. So I started watching just kind of more variety. You still watch the El Clasicos. You watch, Arsenal in the Premier League. And then you had the Serie A, you got, Juve. They're not really that good anymore, which is kind of mind-blowing because they were always the top team. But now there's actually some competition in there, like Inter, AC Milan. They've always been good too, but they're starting to rebuild and get really good again. Napoli, they're pretty good. Pretty sure they won the league, right? Like 2 years ago. But yeah, it's a fun league to watch. I'm pretty sure it's known as I don't know. I think they're the most defensive league. I believe so. It's just they score a goal and you just get so defensive driven. You're just trying to win by a goal or not. But yeah. Ronaldo himself was able to have a few good seasons there. I think 3 it was, before he went back to Manchester United, which I'm pretty sure we know what happens after that, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll get one more look at this beautiful jersey. Again, my goat on the back. Oh, before getting the Real Madrid Ronaldo jersey, my first ever Real Madrid jersey we have right here. It's really old. I mean, we got some tears in the badge here. I mean, we'll look at the front. It doesn't look as bad on camera, I don't think, but all in this gray, it's like a, there is spots that's peeled off. And yeah, it's just not big chunks. It's just kind of throughout the lettering. I'm actually really surprised the condition this is in. But this was I've always been in soccer, in sports, in even video games. As much as scoring the goals or being that main person to get the points and stuff, I love, a nice assist. I like the playmakers, I feel like they're slept on because their stats might not look as good, but it's those players, the number 10s on the field, that have the best vision. They have, the brains. They know what they're doing. They know how to control the game. And that for me was James Rodriguez when he was at Real Madrid. I know this jersey was from 2016. I know that for a fact because that was my first ever Real Madrid jersey. I was so excited when I got it. But yeah, James Rodriguez was, again, same with Mesut Ozil on Arsenal. I just love a nice playmaker. I think it's so cool. Again, I prefer it over being a goal scorer all the time. I will always say that. But yeah, James Rodriguez. prime James Rodriguez. He had that insane World Cup. And then, even in the Copa America, just this last year, he had the most assists in the tournament. Colombia made the finals, but unfortunately they lost to Argentina. I think it was 1-0, and it was a goal in extra time, I believe. Lautaro Martinez. But again, I'm very, very surprised by the condition of this jersey for how long I've had it, and I know the year I got it, I would always wear it to, practices and stuff like that. So we'll get one more look at this one. And we'll move on to the next one, which is actually the last one in the collection. But this last one I actually wore in a video not too long. But we got the Argentina kit. Of course, we got number 10 on the back. Lionel Messi. The GOAT. I have to say it. He is the GOAT. He's won it all. Can throw a 3rd star on that right there for the 3rd World Cup win. As upset as I am about them winning the World Cup instead of Portugal, I do think it was rigged. Alright, I do think it was rigged. I mean, so many penalties, so many missed calls, so many bad calls. I'll never get over it because it would be cool to see Ronaldo win a World Cup. For how hard he worked, I think it would have been cool. But, you gotta have both jerseys because, again, these are both players that, we're probably never gonna see players winning, 8 Ballon d'Ors, 5 Ballon d'Ors, almost 1,000 goals each. I don't remember how many assists Messi has, but it's up there as well. It's, you're never gonna see players like this for like a very, very long time. I feel like even in our lifetime, I don't think we're ever gonna see especially two players at the same time being that good. I don't think it's gonna happen at all. So yeah, I had to get a Messi jersey, but I think it's funny because this one actually was not mine. The same day I got that Ronaldo jersey, I actually remember where I was. It was one of my soccer tournaments. There was like a little tent there because it was a pretty big event, like soccer tournament, and they were just selling a bunch of jerseys. I of course got the Portuguese Ronaldo jersey, and then my older sister had gotten this Messi jersey, and she got it so oversized because this still fits me to this day very, very well. I don't even really fill it out too much because I do work out, so a lot of these jerseys that would fit or used to fit are kind of filled out on me, but this one still fits pretty well. So yeah. This was the last jersey of the collection. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Got a lot of shirts to hang up again, put back on hangers. But I do hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys could get nice and relaxed. Possibly fall asleep. If you're here to learn more about me, I hope you could learn more about me and just my love for soccer, football, and yeah. As always, I will see you guys next time. Peace.